else, I can take a quick pause because my internet provider is shitting itself, and the stream has gone down. But I think it is. I know I said that it's just bounced back as I've said that. We were done. We missed a nice little chunk of that RP. I'm interrupting. This was nice. Unfortunately, a good chunk of that was just for us. You know, all the more special.
Oh.
You can tell it's bad when Twitch's own counters started resetting how much you've been live for.
Yeah, it was a long downtime. I don't know what the fuck happened. Virgin Media just shit itself, but only on a few ports.
Yeah,
Because-
my phone wasn't working.
Yeah, like, as in, like, I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, maybe it was the phone was the problem. I don't know. Maybe our fucking very expensive internet connections are fucked. But Discord was fine.
Yeah.
But Google went down and everything. It was like, oh, well, I was like, Discord's gonna drop any second.
Well, we're fine.
And
And Discord's just like, no.
No.
Nah, bitch.
Discord's like
D&D
high priority
continues.
packets, motherfucker. Where was
Yeah.
this kind of level of fucking support, Discord, whenever we try to run fucking basic sessions, not streams, huh? We wait 2 hours. Arseholes, anyway.
Just Ryan on Skype.
Yeah,
Fucking hell,
yeah.
so bad.
It's back to the Skype
Just-
days.
Literally was there for a while.
On a shitty laptop.
Listening to boo-doo-boo, boo-doo-boo. Yeah, for literally half an hour.
But remember whenever it actually came on and the fan was like, it
Yeah,
was like, oh god, what is that noise?
No.
It's my
yeah,
shit.
but you come on and all you see is one big fuzzy pixelated blur.
I
Regardless.
think Cyrus, after Astra leaves, he's just going to stay on the front of the deck for a little while longer. Just thinking before turning in himself.
If Volga spots him at some point, he'll bring him a pint.
Vulgar, as you're kind of on your way there, you kind of go below deck to get one from the gantry. And as you kind of like step back up onto the main deck, someone taps you on the shoulder.
What?
Spin round, standing in front of you, arms now crossed. You see a female moon elf, white hair.
Why the
pulled
fuck have
back,
you been asking about
Well,
me?
You're gonna get called out,
pull
boy!
back. You see her. She's got her like black leather gloves on, her like tight bodice, and like her body's very
Fuck
sleek
her,
and
Volga,
athletic.
do it!
So I'm just gonna offer the second drink and just go, I'm
She
guessing
looks at
you
it.
want a chat?
She goes, chat, maybe, drink, no, this,
Okay.
yes, and then she headbutts you in the nose.
That's probably quite a distance for an elf to
I-
a dwarf.
And
Yeah.
Volga just not reacting anyway.
Let me see.
You hear bones
Is she
break,
the one with
and
the
you're just
great
like,
tits?
I'm fine. Yeah.
At least when she headbutts you, you'll probably get like a really great view there. Like the second before your nose explodes, you can be like, damn.
I'm gonna roll a dagger
Wow.
attack for her. She rolled a whopping 8, so like she maybe the height was off, but it's not as clean as she wanted it to be.
Kind of thunks him on the top of the head
Yeah.
instead.
She pulls back. She's like, "Fucking awesome.
Um,
Why are you following me? What do you want?"
not following you. I'm
Definitely
trying to
follow
learn
me.
off you
You're
like the
drawing
captain
little
said
fucking
that I could do.
notes.
Yeah. I'm going to show her all the notes. Just interacted with this person, did this. Person did this, da da da. But
You're being
asked
fucking
the-
weird, right?
I
That's
asked the
fucked.
captain. I asked the captain.
You didn't think you asked my fucking permission before you go and document everything I'm doing?
No, I just found the best first mate that I've seen on all the ships I've been on, and I want to learn off this first mate.
Larry doesn't work on me, love. Look, I'm actually gonna tell you as well. Look, fucking short little creep follows me around, makes bullshit notes. She's nothing in her hand, but she's just doing that with her bare hand and showing her palm.
Hey, can I just bonk, like, lightly tap her on the head with my notebook?
Listen, don't know what you're fucking playing at, but look,
Okay.
if
Fine.
you want to follow
Tomorrow I'm
me
gonna
and learn
follow
what I
you.
do, that's fine. Just fucking come speak to me. Don't just creepily stare at me from a distance. It's just kind of fucking purr. Like, come on. It's gross. Nobody likes a pervert, man.
See, You insinuating a pervert means I give a shit what sex you are, I give a shit what job you're doing. There's a difference.
Then you're like a job pervert. That's even weirder. Like, at least the sex bit makes sense.
Oh yeah, first mate.
Oh, so sexy how she's doing her job.
That's an efficient way to talk to your crew.
Ooh,
Some-
that efficiency.
Meanwhile, back in OL and Arab at the in Galandan's tavern, 90 degrees to like the side. The bard is there on the piano with the everyone playing around. Like, she works hard for her money, for so hard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so she says like, look, if you want to follow me or get tips or whatever the fuck, just fucking speak to me, please. I'm asking you to have any basic level of communication of what you're doing. Like, imagine this, right? Used to be a guy I know, right? He pictured himself as some kind of, like, you know, actor, and one day he was to be big on the stage. And the last I saw of him was whenever he got thrown in the back of a fucking, like, wagon of the guard because he was at a play park making notes about children, how they played, because he got a role as a young adult. Right? Believe me.
That's creepy.
That is creepy, isn't it? You know, if he just fucking probably said to the parents, hey, like, I'm an actor, I want to do this and the other, like, maybe they wouldn't have called the guard on him. But he didn't, and they did, because it's fucked up.
Is this something that happened to you?
No.
Okay. Just
Why do I
checking.
feel like you're one of those
I
children?
didn't get arrested, and I have a DBS check.
You didn't have to pay the £18 to
Nah.
get renewed.
I did. It came back clear, by the way.
Good
Going
job,
on a
Ryan.
pedophile.
Good job for not-
enough.
Congrats on
haven't
not
broke
being a
any
pedo, Ryan.
haven't broke any crowd. Haven't broken any
Congratulations on not being a convicted paedophile.
Yeah, either never done anything or never been caught.
Hey, Philip Schofield, how's it going?
Hey, Phil Schofield.
How's that
Just
DBS
this-
check going?
Just a disclaimer, Twitch. Not a pedo.
But look, anyway,
Anyway,
just verbalize why you're doing something, because it's fucking weird. You know, it's just weird. At least you would tell me it's still weird, but at least I know why it's weird.
Well, were you not in the mess this morning?
I was.
Did you not hear me speaking?
To be honest, I was having a conversation with...
That's your own fucking problem, then. Just interrupting mid-sentence.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not saying I like you, little man.
Well, you
don't.
don't need to like me. I just need to do a good job. There's
she
a
likes
difference.
him a little.
You don't
He
need to
likes
do
his tenacity.
You don't need to be liked. I don't need to be liked. I just need to do the job that I need to do, and everything needs to get done. And you seem to be the best person to learn that from.
Maybe we're
So
pretty
tomorrow, if you want me to stick to you like gum, I will
Stick
stick
you?
to you like gum.
I'll stick you.
I'll stick
Make me
you.
a persuasion check.
Oh Jesus! Why a persuasion check? Did I get any
Make
sort
you
of
trying
advantage
to
or just
persuade
like
her?
that?
to this woman.
Oh, wonderful. 2. Well, it's a +1. That's helpful. And that was a fucking fail.
She looks at you. That's her eyes. I don't know if you just think you talk good, or you know you just got a really good eye or whatever, but just leave it. And she just walks away. Just walks downstairs. Leave it. Just leaving it alone.
Meeting, just immediately she walks away. Squivel. Loud enough, and I'm deliberately writing hard, and I deliberately do it the second she turns, just so she knows. And then tomorrow I'm going to stick to her like a glue. Like glue.
Like a glue. Like a
Like
single
a glue.
glue.
Just the
Like
one
a glue
glue.
stick.
Yeah, and I think it sounds like everyone's all bedding down for
Do
the
I get to
second.
look
Yeah.
at the stars? Does she go good on her deal, or does she ditch me?
No, if you find her, yeah,
Yes.
she's there on the. She'll be like, if you come find her, she normally just sets up at the front of the deck, kind of near where Astra was meditating. But whenever you kind of like approach, she's like, oh, hang on. And she goes, climbs the rigging, and goes like, all right, Nendia, take a break. And then shuffles Nendia out, and Nendia takes a book and for some reason like a box of tissues with her, and like goes on, and then whenever like you look, she just goes like, it's in a really sad part, okay? But like they're not sure if they can be together or not. And like I'm getting new because if I do, I'm gonna cry. She climbs on the rigging. And you see that she like sets up somewhere under the sails, like legs crossed, reading the book, and every now and again you see her, oh, just like actual full-blown emotional tears.
She's having a moment.
Yeah. And kind of she gets settled in like up here in the little crow's nest a few, and she kind of like looks around and like pushes a few of the pillows out of the way, and like Thunderstra kind of like looks up. She's like, I look so. And she pulls it over.
Alice kind of squints a few times through like the red lens of her mask, sighs, and just pulls the mask off.
You good?
Yeah, it's too dark to see through the lenses. They're meant to help with the light filtration, and I have cataracts and shit. It's fine. That's why my eyes look like this. Unlike yours, which looks starry in a cool way.
Yeah, it's not even really genetic. It's more chronomonic. I don't know. I don't know what the term is. We're born underneath a full moon, so whatever that means. Lunarific, any word like that, I guess. Anyway, and she pulls out a sextant, compass, calipers, ruler, parchment, ink, quill, a physical map. She loads her hollow strap map up to go with it. And then she
Alice just starts touching shit.
don't touch the lenses. But she's like, okay, so we're heading this direction. She has the compass on, and she finds you in the map. And like, so we're heading here, and she overlays the thin parchment on the map and draws like a perspective, like direction of bearing. And it's like, so that means if we keep going this way, we should see these stars. And she overlays it with like a few notes from a book and things like that. Like, and then she goes like, oh, look, and if you look up, and she was pointing, she like begins telling you the constellations and things like that, like, you know, pointing out where you're going. And then at one point she yells down to the helm where Kaelin is, and she goes like, adjust 3 degrees left, and then ship ever so bends. And then you see the and she's like, look, and because the lead star of that one falls in line with the bow, that means we know that we're definitely going the right direction. And it's just, you know, she just each little bit and piece and just pulls it all out for you, and just, you know, makes it, you know, again, it's the start of learning how to do very basic navigation.
Alice is like bouncing on her heels, excited.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, look, so this is tomorrow's chart of where we need to head. She slides over to you. So for going tomorrow evening, we should be seeing these stars. Can you find them for me? We should be able to see them already, because we're only a day's travel behind.
Can I find them?
Yeah, make me a wisdom check.
Flat wisdom?
Yep.
Not really.
11? You can spot them, but it's a bit confusing because they're not in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
So where on her charts, like they should look like this from this angle, they're a bit all skewed and things like that. And you do manage, it just takes you a lot longer than you would hope. It's not like you're like, oh, there they are, like bang, straight away. It takes you a good couple of minutes to search and find them, and using the sextant and things just in this, like the optic, especially your eyes. And yeah, she begins like slowly teaching you little bits and bobs up here, and yeah, she's kind of just up there. She's just like, it's funny, not really. Nendia had a little bit of interest, but not massively in learning how to navigate. So it's nice to have someone actually kind of interested in this kind of thing.
You're welcome, maybe?
I don't
Sorry.
know if
I'm not very good with people.
it's okay. Well, I think most of us who are on the ships aren't. That's why we try to get away from most of them. What's your deal?
Are you flirting with me? Because that was really bad.
No, that's not flirting. That's a what the fuck is this?
What's what?
your weird mask and
When before.
I get. I'm sorry. This is definitely a very personal question. I'm kind of phrasing that with I don't care and I want to know.
Before I hatched, when I was still an eggling, my egg got cracked. I don't know how. And on my planet, there was really bad pollution. So, the pollution affected me while I was still growing, so they thought I would die, and then I didn't die, and I hatched, and, it messed up a bunch of things about the way I grew, and then since then, as I grew, some things didn't grow right, and I was getting better, and then I did something really stupid when I was 16, and I permanently damaged basically my entire body, so the mask gives me a higher supply of oxygen so I can breathe easier, and it helps filter out pollutants and any kind of diseases from anyone else. Animal fur and stuff sets it off. I have some ports from surgeries, and she'll kind of pull down the scarf she wears, and she has like a surgical sort of screw cap almost set into her throat. That looks really gross, which is fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I just, it never grew right.
Yeah.
I meant to be like 6 foot tall.
Oh. Sorry for asking.
I don't really care. Like, it's shitty, but basically everyone in the entire world has some trauma so awful that if you learnt about it, you would collapse to the floor crying and never get up. So everyone carries their own shit, and I figure everyone who was built to deal with their own shit is okay, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know what they say. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
I have a suspicion that one of my brothers accidentally broke me, and the only reason my parents have never told me is because they don't want me to choose which one I hate more.
It's okay. I quite like the taste of omelets.
Me too.
Yeah, they're good. Not say a bad thing. Look, I gotta go to sleep. I'm gonna get up early and see what the fuck position we've ended up in the night. Good talk. Pat you on the shoulder. You can stay up here as long as you like. Nendi is probably gonna go to bed soon because I don't know what the fuck she's doing. You good down there? It's just so beautiful.
Are there any more tissues up here?
Yeah, there's a couple. They're a little
picks
used.
up a box and just drops it over the side.
Like a fresh box? Yeah. It falls. You hear, "Ow!" And you hit Kalen on the head. He's coming down the stairs.
Sorry.
The fuck was that?
Emergency supply drop.
Alice just slowly lowers herself down further on the ground. I was like, nothing.
But you all bed off the evening, rest, relax, and the following day you rise. I need the navigator to make me a navigator tools check, please.
Hang on, I'm just marking off how long it's taking my brew to brew. There we go.
A 20 plus.
22.
You gain a day's travel.
Nice.
You navigate so well.
So
you'll
good
find a
at
shortcut.
navigating.
So it goes even quicker than you previously anticipated. Which is very good indeed. Lovely. I also would like, we had Cyrus and Volgi roll it before, so this time I will have Astra and Beros roll me 2 D100s, please. Astra, you will do the onboard, and Beros, you will do the offboard. No offboard encounters. Oh, but there is an onboard encounter.
Oh no.
Astra, roll me a D4, please.
Astra!
You can't say these dice are cursed.
No, fine then. Shit. 2.
Oh, 2. Okay. Cyrus, you're down in the engineering quarters. With the engineer,
Galadris.
with Glanders, yes. And as Glanders has his like upper body in one of the access hatches working on something, he begins yelling in panic. And it's only whenever he pulls himself out of it, and you realize that there's his hair is a little singed, and you look in the hand patch he was just in, and there's actual a flaming ball inside the panel, and it begins to damage the propeller, which is the main propulsion of the ship. He begins yelling. He's like, "I need you to pass me this," and he begins like yelling things at you. And I need you to make me on Glandris. I need you to make me a check with his carpenters and smith tools. So if you click on his token, he's below deck. You should see in the top left. You should see an option to make a check with his carpenters and smith tools.
Where is he? Yep.
Top left, you should see appear a little custom command for his.
Top left. Enter a new value into the box. No, that's not it.
Now, if you click on his token, his actual physical token.
Mary, look at what you've done. You've made Ryan have to use technology.
So you click his token, and then top left it says
Carpenter
slash
Smith
smith
tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was
I
looking at the wrong
literally
place.
made it as easy as possible.
No, I am very stupid.
I custom scripted a macro for it. Okay.
Yeah, so 11.
Yeah. Unfortunately, 11 is not enough. He's too slow in his reaction to save the component from suffering heavy damage, and if I go into Starwind here, the propulsion of the Starwind takes 19 fire damage as the propeller explodes.
Man, I'm sure glad I know how to fly. How are you guys doing?
It doesn't affect the
So somehow we gained a day when all this shit's going on.
this
We're gonna
happens,
gain
like,
a day and
easily.
lose a day.
Well, not necessarily. Because it hasn't taken less than 25 damage. Because it's taking less than 25 damage, it doesn't actually affect the overall speed. But it does mean it will now take Cyrus and Galadris' kind of primary focus to like start on their days. They actually have like an active task now. It's not just basic tinkering. It's now we need to fix this fucking broken thing. Because if it gets any more damage, there'll be a problem.
She doesn't have the spell prepared at the minute, but the next day, Astra probably take on mending and see if she can help. As my cursed dice rolls.
It's fine. It's good. It's good to see what can happen. It's nice to see this shit.
Learning moment. Teachable moment.
So, I'll tell you right now, on the next day, the engineer will likely spend their day, using the repair ability, which means they'll make a check using their carpenter strength tools, and on a 15 or higher, they will repair a little bit of the damage.
Astra will cast guidance on them before they do that.
Yep, that won't happen until tomorrow, but I'm just giving you a heads up what will probably happen over the next. Because because it happened today, they can't do it because they've already spent most of their day doing other bits and pieces. But on the next full day, that's what they'll do tomorrow. Is there anything I'd like to do this third day as you travel along?
I think Volga is going to get a bit more up close and personal with the first mate this time.
Yep.
Much to her dismay.
Much displeasure. He's going to be outside waiting and ready whenever she appears on the deck and start just...
Yep. She looks at you as you get out and she's like, let's go. And she barges past you and she begins going about her her daily walk around, and every time she finishes speaking to someone, so you see she immediately pulls, kind of as she's going around, she immediately pulls Erevan on something, and she goes like, Erevan. And you kind of see like the shadow character look over, like with his like mask still on. It's hard to like read his face. She's like, take the damn mask off when I'm talking to you.
You put her in a bad mood.
And there's a long pause, and eventually the mask unclips it, takes it on. What do you want?
Shadowkai look all creepy when they're not.
Yeah, they're all pallid skin, black eyes, like horrible disjointed features. And she like looks at him and just goes like, you didn't make your bunk this morning. So, I want you to take all of the ammo you have at that lovely ballista station of yours. I think it all needs a good... It's all gone rusty. We need new, fresh stuff from the bottom deck. Take the old rusty stuff down to the bottom deck and bring the new stuff up, please. But that's like 50 bolts. That'll take me all day. Do it. He pauses. You see, he kind of like... Fine. And then he snarls and he goes past her and heads up onto the top deck. And later on, after you know you're going along, you see him hurling, like bringing the old stuff down. No, not even a hint of rust.
It's fine.
You hear him muttering and cussing, and the whole in Elvish the whole time, just like, you know.
I understand Elvis. So what's he saying?
Oh, you know,
unholy
you
swears.
know, some swears
Yeah.
you're alright to say in front of your parents. These are the ones you do not say.
Some swears so bad that you've never actually heard them despite speaking Elvish.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, not happy. You know, and then
noted.
as it's happening, he turns to you, and she goes, and then she goes to his bunk as he's still holding it all down, and his bunk isn't made, and she stops, makes the bunk properly, how it's supposed to be done, neat, like, and it was made, but not very well. But she like properly, fully tucks the sheet and duvet underneath the mattress, gets it properly neat and tidy, like everyone else.
Like hotel style.
Yeah, exactly. Like military fitted sheets kind of level of ridiculousness. She does it properly, and then later in the day, obviously you catch her. All of her other bits happen over the day, but near the end of the evening, as because you've been following her the whole day, she finds him just as he's finished putting the last new set of bolts up. She inspects one, checks it over, and goes like, I fixed your bed for you. Make sure that tomorrow looks like that. Because otherwise, I will have to remind you that these are not the right size bolts for this ballistae. You clearly picked the wrong ones up when we got into port. They will need replaced. She puts it down, and you see he crosses his arms. And then she just turns, walks away. And as she walks away, you see he takes a bolt, tries to load it in the ballistae, and you see it's too short for the ballistae. And she's correct. It's the wrong size bolt. And then she turns to you and she's like, the bed wasn't the problem. He took a large amount of money when we were last in port, spent it on the incorrect ammunition, and now he needs to realise that before he tries to shoot it off in combat.
Noted furiously.
He spent a good 8 hours lugging ammunition up and down unnecessarily, actually loading his weapon with the wrong ammo. I think it's very unlikely he will ever make that mistake ever again.
So you used a minor infraction to teach him a very important lesson and prove something to him that he didn't quite realise himself when it was best suited to yourself.
Indeed. We're also about to hit mainland tomorrow, so if he had the wrong bolts loaded at the time and we got into a combat, it could have been catastrophic. Better he learns it now, the non-hard way. Because the hard way is when someone dies. As long as someone is not dead, it's not the hard way.
And Volgir's not actually going to note that down. He's just going to remember it to heart, kind of like a Last of Us kind of playthrough.
Yeah.
Volgir will remember
I
that.
remember that. At that moment, Volgir closed his book, and she gives him a tiny nod.
Alright, little man. I'm cooking dinner tonight, so you may help at least crack some eggs. And she will head down to the gantry.
Fine with me. I helped with breakfast the other day.
Oh, good. Maybe you can be a chef. You don't need a cook.
No. Screw chefing.
Screw chefing indeed. Why I burn the food? Trying to minimize my rota time.
Well,
Omelets.
do you know what you do? Blame everyone.
Omelette.
Just say someone else did the cooking.
I just claim didn't the other person clean the pan well enough the previous time.
Ah, I like that excuse.
And then, you know,
So what would you like a roll?
it's just she will make a roll with your help. So
Everyone who's cooked since Atlas was
So
in there
am
is
I
like,
making
where
a,
is everything?
Roll for first mate.
for her, it'd be a wisdom roll. Wow.
Flat.
Yeah, because
Or
she's
not.
deliberately trying to be bad.
Oh. So I'm
She gives
doing
herself
the
the baddest.
opposite.
You plan like, yeah, it's awful cooking. And then you kind of like, as you all sit down, there's a few whispers, like, probably actually, Captain Windrider is like, you know, look, I understand we have to be fair and make sure that everyone gets their time in the sun and all, but we know that Moonshadow cannot cook. Like, we all know this for an absolute fact. Why do we insist she doesn't? I will cook instead of her. It's not a problem. The food she produces is so bad, I have to get up in the night and eat different food that I make myself. It's shit. And as he says, it's shit, she comes out, there's like black plate of like, like, you were there, they were like, literally, like, you were like helping her, like, okay, we need to flip it soon so it doesn't burn, and she's like, yeah, I know. And you turn your back to like get a few like vegetables prepped, and like you turn back in like 10 seconds, and there's just like 4 pans of like black, like, could be manhole covers in saucepans. And then she's like, I think they're done. And like, you're convinced that is not the food that was in the pan when you had turned your back. She has put different food in there. Probably given the fact that it's somehow cold as well when it reaches the table despite being burnt.
If I want to eat this food, do I have to make a con save?
No, you can eat the food. It's fine. It's edible. It's just tastes awful. And it's not nice. And like,
It's
Eating
either
with
raw
gusto.
or overcooked.
Eating with gusto.
you do see the captain is the only one who gives a shit about it. Everyone else, like Lyralet's like, no, it's a very good effort. You know, it's definitely getting better. Kaylin's like, yeah, tastes good. It tastes really good. Yeah.
I'm gonna turn back to her as we walk back in the kitchen and go, I think this is one of the times where you need to relax a bit on your influence on the crew, because your influence on them is making you cook more.
Maybe, but
You could use it as a threat. Bear in mind, you could say to them, I will cook you dinner.
Cylindra does the cooking rotas. She puts me on once a month. That's enough to acknowledge I do my fair share, but not enough to make sure that I do it often enough.
Fair enough.
So
I
this will
can't
be the
say I
first
don't
and
cook.
last time you ever taste my cooking.
No. Right. Well, I can't say I'm going to taste it. As he flips something separate that Volk is cooking himself
Yeah.
in the kitchen, eats it in the kitchen out the way.
Your bunk better be fucking immaculate tomorrow.
I'm going to pass another plate that's perfectly made, like, over as best I can,
To her.
if possible. Yeah, just to her.
She looks at it, sniffs it. Maybe a wisdom check for yourself, or a chef, or cooking utensil skills if you have it.
No, I don't have cooking utensils,
just
so
do
it'll just
flat
be
wisdom.
myself. Flat wisdom. I've got a better wisdom than her, so let's hope this works. That worked. 15.
Is this it? Bad mistake. Hey, Thalindra! Come in here. You should smell this.
Instantly throws the plate out the window.
You see the moon elf comes in like, oh, what is it? What
I just
is
went, she can cook. She's lying this entire time.
She looks at and was like, wow, I didn't think our new guests were such bad liars, huh?
Oh.
Oh well. She leaves the room and you see and she's like,
I'm gonna look at her
smells
and go,
really good. What was that? Where's it gone?
I told you she can cook. She just really didn't want to show you.
Maybe. I mean, I guess so. Maybe I'll put her on more often.
There you go. I'm gonna look at her and go, you can play that game.
She laughs and goes, whenever the crew get malnourished, it's on you.
I won't be here to see it.
She steps back out onto the crew deck.
I'm gonna go eat some dinner.
Today?
I think
I
Cyrus
want to
probably
ask
spends
if I
most-
can cook tomorrow.
Yeah, you asked Linda. She's like,
God.
yeah, it was supposed to be Lireleth, but you can cook instead, no problem.
Then I asked
Cyrus
her
probably
if
just-
I can cook tomorrow because I don't want to steal her thunder if she has plans.
Lireleth is like, oh well, I was gonna make a summer vegetable tart. But if you've got something better in mind, I'm completely fine. I can help if you like. I mean, I was kind of in the mood for cooking anyway.
Yeah.
Cooking's kind of like alchemy, you know, you have to get all the ingredients together, make sure it's all going in the right direction. It's fun. I'm not the best at it, but it's fun.
I keep getting Professor Garlic vibes. I'm not here for it.
She is a Hufflepuff. I think Cyrus is probably going to spend most of his day in the engineer room trying to help fix what broke, at least to the best of his ability with Galadriel's instruction.
You don't make any progress today, really, but you definitely get like, the
No,
initial
I know.
setup.
Just in terms of when it breaks, that's the main thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's doing. for the
Everything,
day.
it's like, you know, like you're pulling out all the broken and all the ruined bits of wood, breaking the wall, and like the wall has like a hollow in it, so you're just like ripping up all the flamed wood and trying to find what's been broken and what's like, you know, needs reconnected and stuff.
Well,
I love the
whenever
idea
we
of
get
him just
to-
being like, couldn't you smell the smoke? And Cyrus is like, no.
Nose blind.
Cyrus, make me a perception check.
Oh God. Eight.
As you're going through the cubby and the wall, you do find loads of old burnt out cigarette butts and put the thing down there, but you can't find any sign that they were the cause of the fire.
Probably just like sweeps them into a bucket, puts the panel in back. After things have settled and, you know, we're not going to get any further with it, Cyrus is probably going to be like, you know, after that I could probably use a drink. Would you like one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cyrus will head to the gallantry and look for a drink.
Yeah, the galley, there's a few eels have been tapped. You see the bubbling away brews that Atlas has left a nice do not touch sign on.
There's also like 60 skulls and crossbows on the do not touch sign. And then a smaller do not touch sign of like, no, seriously.
You take off the first one, you see an even bigger one.
Take out the first one, it's like, I'm warning you, do not touch this!
Takes off the do not sign. No, seriously, don't touch it. Takes off another one. I swer to God, takes off
Takes off another one. I know
Please
specifically it's you, Cyrus,
Takes
do
off
not
the
touch
fine-
this!
Takes off the final one. Just
Takes
like,
off- takes
fine,
off and
do
one
it.
more-
Your
one more-
funeral.
One more note.
Fine. I poisoned one of them, guess which?
Stick,
After-
stick.
You
They're
know
in
it.
the wrong order, but he's sticking them back on, and then he will pour 2 eels and bring them down to the engineer's room.
Yeah, you can as you come back down, he's kind of like popped himself on the edge of the walkway that overhangs. That like it hangs on just the abyss. There's nothing. There's no safety reel or anything in here. It's not a
And you
safe.
poison the engineer.
Not a
No,
safe.
I
place.
poured from the good eel.
You think.
And Galadrius kind of like is sitting his legs and like hanging below him. Takes the eel of you, lifts it up, clangs his mug off yours, takes a big. Lights up at a cigarette. Offers it to you.
Dude. No, thank you.
As it is my like the second one.
Maybe this guy could be your new dad. He seems fun.
Astra's words echoing. It's like, good cheese? Your family?
You just spent all your time down here?
In a way, I guess, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Oh. Someone has to keep an eye on it all, you know? Otherwise, just to fucking kill us all.
You're very cheerful.
Look, I know what I'm working with. If this stops working, we all fall out the sky.
Fair point. Takes a swig.
He offers the back end of a cigarette.
Peer pressure, peer
Yeah,
pressure.
Cyrus will take it and try it.
Yeah. You
Do you cough?
Do you want me to roll a constitution save?
can't save with advantage because you have fire resistance, I believe. Or maybe you don't. You give yourself that in the end.
Hang on.
Nah,
Well,
he's
it's
fine.
The first one's at 18. What features
Yeah.
and traits?
You're fine. If an 18, it's warm in the lungs. You know, like it's not doesn't catch in your throats too harshly. It's pretty
Is
mild.
it similar? Is it similar to the air I used to breathe as a kid?
Not too dissimilar.
Tastes like home.
It reminds
is
you of
it?
those like industrial district where the smoke is
Yeah.
heavy in the air, and but it's fresher. It's the heat of the smoke as opposed to the passive, you know, smog. It's not secondhand. It's direct, you know.
Yeah. What is the purpose of these things again?
They're supposed to make you feel happier or look cool. Help me relax.
Cyrus takes another draw because he's like, happier? Are you not one for fresh air? You ever go out onto the deck?
My parents were wood elves, so I've had enough of fresh air. Nah, being down here, it's nice, you know, it's warm and comforting, and I can kind of look around and be sure that everything around me is good, you know? Like, if this propeller packs it in, we'll lisp for a while with the sails, but at our current cruising altitude, we hit the ground in 30 seconds. I think the rest of them kind of forget that. They kind of don't realize how fragile we are up here.
A ship this size couldn't have a backup or second.
Too heavy. It would need to be running, you know? And if it's running, you need another engineering crew to look after it.
Hmm.
And if that's the case, you lose half the cargo. Now, everyone has a feather full lot on their hollow strap that I fitted out for them. So if we do fall, we just have to get off the thing before it hits the ground. And we'll be alright. As long as we're not in the ocean, we'll live.
So, how does a wood elf specialize in engineering? How did that come about?
Drafted. The Amalgamate Army.
Oh shit. Barrels, beat him up.
Where did you
He's-
serve?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
I served on the Sapana. The way you're looking at me says you don't even know what that is, which is funny, and maybe I should have realised you're an Asimite. No.
I grew up in
Sapana.
a very different kind of military.
Sapana's one of the Amalgamate's biggest dreadnoughts.
So running a ship like this is, well, I won't say.
I could do it
Child
drunk,
play.
blind, with no arms.
So how did you end up here?
Didn't agree with what they were doing up there. Got myself in some trouble. Got myself sent back home. But I used to be the head engineer of that ship. He like pings us off into the distance just as it falls down, just catches the wind, and you watch the amber glow just whisked off in the wind. They were using it to just bombard surface of planets, civilians. Not of our kind, draconids and things, but you know, it's not nice to be a part of. So I installed a block. That meant whenever they tried to fire that big gun of theirs, it instead hit a little snag, blew itself up. Not enough to destroy the ship, but enough to shit the limp home. Fortunately, whenever they picked it apart, I wasn't as subtle with my handiwork as I would have liked to be. So I was court-martialed, meant to be set up for execution, but pulled a few favors, made a few threats of what I knew about that thing, and in exchange for a little gas here and there, I was given my freedom. As long as I don't talk about what I know, I continue to live. Not a bad trade.
Life back home too slow for you after serving?
Maybe. I'm no war hero, you know? I wouldn't expect anything of anybody, but I look around at these people, I look around at the people even on this ship sometimes, and I think they just don't know how easy they are.
There are no real heroes in war, only victors and losers.
I suppose. But there are people who do great things. I'm no real war hero. But I think if you ask the thousands of Draconid women and children who didn't get annihilated in the blink of an eye, I think that makes me a hero. Unsung, maybe, but a hero, nonetheless.
Worth losing a title and fancy position to do some good in the universe, huh?
Looking back, I don't know. But at the time, it felt right. Would I do it again? You'd have to put me in the same position and make me find out.
Well, hopefully another choice like that doesn't come by too soon.
For now, just give me smokes and basic electrical faults. I can work with those. So we gotta realize, Cyrus, when you're here, down here, it's lonely. People don't come here unless something's gone wrong. Even Nariel doesn't bother me down here. You know, she knows what I've got, and she knows I do it right. See them at food time sometimes. But for them, I'm just a robot who keeps things running.
Does it bother you?
Not really. Used to it, maybe. In the military, you're just a number, you know? Maybe I'm partially to blame. I don't seek them out. Maybe they think I'm scary or something. I don't know. If I was anything scary, I'm just a little smoke-breathing dragon down here.
Cyrus will flick his cigarette away.
I'll go to
I
bed.
could get behind. Yeah. Busy day tomorrow, probably.
There's been a disconnect between the rudder and the front sail, so we need to reconnect that and get it running again. Shouldn't take too long, a couple hours maybe, but then the overall paneling will be prepared and replaced. Could take a couple of days to get it all nice and smooth and covered up again.
No worries. I'll let you turn on.
Gives you a little nod. Picks himself up. Kind of cracks his back. And as you kind of got close to him for this first time, you see that his hollow strap that like extends up his arm to his shoulder. At a distance before, it looked like he had like a nice, like, you know, full sleeve or armor for it. But ever since the fire, it's been damaged. And what you thought was a glove is burned away, and you see his left hand for the first time for what it truly is. And you see it is what you think is like a skeletal bone for a second, like no flesh or muscle around it. And then you realize it's not. It's metallic. It's
Mech
robotic
arm.
in form.
Yeah.
Have
He's
this guy be your dad. That's cool as
a
shit.
cyborg.
Yeah, and it looks like his entire arm, where it like joins onto his sort of shoulder and mounts up here, it looks like it's been fused onto his body to some level. He hasn't made any mention of it or talked about it
I
himself.
wonder if he can switch it out like the guy from Treasure Planet.
Yeah, but he a heads up.
And Cyrus probably just silently observes it.
Yeah, but you being closer to him now, you would get a good look, especially the damage done to it. He doesn't. That's the thing. Whenever he came out, his arm was on fire quite badly. Like his hair was a little singed as well, but he wasn't reacting as like for the amount of fire he was on. He should have been making more reactions sooner. So it's likely maybe that arm caught first when he was like reaching underneath something, and it was only when he pulled it out that was the panic, you know. So like it had already spread quite far. But yeah, he's not quite what you'd expected. Yeah, you bunk down. Another day passes. Atlas, can you give me a navigation check, please?
Yes, hang on. 15.
15 is good. You gain half a day's travel.
I just realised even if we gain more travel, it just means we're going to end up sat there at the other end.
Well, you can turn left and follow the
Yeah,
Try
true.
to curve up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you at this point, the captain probably spoke to you all and be like, the problem with Till is that they've perfected the ability to move the city. So we know roughly where it should be in 25 days, but they can slow their pace, double it. They can go veering off left or right on an arc.
Aliens.
So we think it'll be there, but
Bless you.
nothing's
We
guaranteed.
can only hope.
I think if we get there, they'll definitely travel to the settlement of Hafen, just to the north. But if they veer from Hafen, they may go somewhere along the Toadmore River. Or maybe down by the coast. But there's not too many settlements there for them to veer towards. Normally they go from settlement to settlement if they can. Depending on what they need. But just bear in mind, it's not... Nothing's guaranteed. Can I get Cyrus rolling me an on-board check and Volgir rolling me a off-board check, please? D100s.
100, isn't it?
Yeah.
92.
Nothing on board.
17.
You are traveling along, and as you're doing so, a large kind of like mass is like curling through the sky, and you hear from the crow's nest, you hear Nendir call out, and she exclaims, "We need to move! 90 degree left! Hard left! Hard left!" And the ship and just like enters this hard bank. And as it does, so this like chunk of debris flies past and soars down to the water below. And yeah, with the lookout on station, you manage to avoid an off-board mishap of a possible collision. And there's a moment of like the ship comes to a halt, everyone checks everyone out, make sure we're all good. And while that's happening, for the day, Cyrus, if you can make me a check, please, for the engineer.
Yeah. Oh shit. 6.
You don't make much progress. The damage is initially a lot worse than it looked. So the propeller still, unfortunately, is as damaged as it was.
Can Astra help with the mending?
Yes.
Mending on the propeller.
With mending, I say we'll give advantage to the rolls. So if you want to roll it again.
Yeah.
No.
24.
Much better.
So we're gonna count that as the critical repair. So that's me 2d6, and then we're gonna add to that the crew's quality score, which at the minute sits at a 4.
So 2d6.
Plus 4.
9.
9 points of healing to the propeller. No. So the crew's quality score is basically kind of like the loyalty or like skill or experience in general, morale and health of your crew. In general, it can go as low as -10 and as high as +10. Positive 4 is a fairly good place to be. If it goes below 3, the first mate can do things like help boost it up back to 3. But 4 is above, kind of like, the would be considered a danger level.
Yeah.
And if it gets below 0, that's whenever mutinies start getting considered, things like that. Obviously, having a good crew score is very important. If you can get it to the max level, if your crew really respect you and are like, of high in standard, there's definitely a boost to come with it. Things like for this, it directly would affect the amount you repair in one day. So it is worthwhile boosting. And once it's up, it does decrease, but only whenever the crew takes casualties or suffers hardship or endures like poor health. But if they've got high morale, good health care, and the leadership is fair and clear, that it actually increases as well. Normally slower than it decreases. But if you can get your crew score up to a positive 10, like you're in a very, very good place. And that'll come with like, I pay my crew very well, or I make sure this happens with more. Even things like the best way to describe it is in a crew like this, say, where you have Engineer Galadris, who I'm going to give an example because this is kind of like your tutorial crew, and like I don't know where we'll take eventually, but perhaps he has some beef with whoever, like banish him from the council. You could almost like Mass Effect loyalty mission style be like, hey, I want to go
fuck over that.
I want to
guy.
go to the I want to go to the Imam Malos and beat the fuck out of this guy. And like, yeah, and then that'll give you like a permanent boost. So whenever he's on your crew, you would always get like a +1 or whatever to your crew. So it's like
I am going to the Infalos anyway.
Yeah, but I'm using that as an example for obviously because these are not your crew. But I will say, like, there
could be.
There is no reason down the line if you wanted to revisit these people, you couldn't try to recruit them. That would not
They are bound to the ship.
They're NPCs in a world that you are in. There is no reason why they couldn't be, especially depending on how you treat them. But yeah, this is something to bear in mind, perhaps. But I'm just giving you an example of how to, kind of like how Captain Windrider reminded Beros, it's a place for all, but they will give you their all. That's kind of what he's hinting at. If you give them good reason, a lot of his crew will be considered very loyal to him of things that he has done, or they have done in the past. Sorry. But yeah. That would be another day of travel, unless anything else you'd like to do.
I'd like to specifically catch up with Astra and Cyrus.
I mean, I think after like the engine's fixed,
Yeah, I'll
and
probably
it's
go
running
in-
smoothly, they'll probably like take a break and be like, okay, it's fixed now, it's running.
It's a few minor like scuffs and damages as he polished out and repaired, but like yeah, it's running smooth enough now.
Yeah, Cyrus probably makes his way to the top deck, dusting himself off.
Yeah, just before that, I'll find Astra first, just because I know Cyrus is rather busy. Astra, my favorite storm chaser. Do you know what? I don't think we've had an actual conversation in all of this time.
No, there's been a lot of blowing up of cities and stuff.
Yes, it can be quite intense, but you guys are you're companions to me, and you're for the foreseeable
He's
future.
been burned on the friends before. He's not doing it again.
For the foreseeable future, anyway. We're together.
Yes.
So I want to get to know you a little bit. I feel like I've not give you the right attention that I may have give Cyrus or Atlas. Cyrus is he's an interesting individual, and they're my kind of people. They're a little strange, but they've got heart.
I can see that.
So, not to be crass, but where did you come from? Why? How did you find yourself here?
Well, I grew up on upheaval. I served the god in Apple, god of storms, god of lightning, god of thunder. I'm a cleric and trying to find any traces of him out here. And to do that, basically follow the storms. There's no really clear direction other than just keep going wherever I end up.
The gods work in mysterious ways, and they don't always show us the straightforward path. Me myself, I follow Morona. I've seen a lot of death in my time, and I've always wanted a good connection with it. And reaching out to the goddess of death is my way of being at peace. You know, they say only death can finish the fight. Everything else interrupts it.
Suppose we're all heading that way eventually. But no. It's good to have faith in something. Believe that someone out there is looking out for you.
Indeed. It doesn't always have to be a god. I know Cyrus. He struggles with believing in anything greater than his being. But I think one day he'll find that hope. I don't think it'll come from the gods, though. I think it'll come from the people around him.
Suppose it's for him to decide what family or friends to choose if he wants to choose anything. But I think he'll be okay. I have a feeling.
I feel that he'll be okay too. Which does bring me to a point. You're very powerful in what you do. Your powers, they come from a god. They come from within you. I see the storm that rages within you and what it does to help you.
So, growing up, I was always a bit of a wild child, but I suppose it comes from whatever power or whatever's within me from an apple. I feel like he calls me, and I if I can harness it and raise it to the best of my ability to be worthy of whatever he's given me. I believe he's given me. To find him or find what he wants me to do. And if I can help people along the way doing that, I will.
Well,
Mhm.
if you
Sorry.
no, well, not well.
Not well.
Well,
I was zoned out reading something. Sorry.
Well, if you ever want to chase storms together, then if this does not take you where you wish to be and you do not reach your storm, then I want to put together a crew, and I think someone like you would be very useful.
Yes, well, I can get people out of scrapes, literally and figuratively. So,
Indeed, but even though you're chasing storms, you tend to also calm them.
I'd be happy to. The more I can get out there, the more I can find traces of an apple.
Yes, I do believe it's not just this planet that he's on.
No. Wherever there's a storm, that's where he is. I need to find him.
Well, then let's chase storms together. Eventually. There's logistics of ships and getting a ship and finding enough to crew a Tev. But I'm sure that we'll get there eventually.
And slightly crazy people who want to bring cities to the ground.
Well, it just so happens that we're just as crazy,
That's
and we'll stop them. For the right price.
sorry, I'm not laughing at your roleplay. Every single time Harry leaves, he offers to get me a drink and then comes back without the drink. Like, this man has never got me a drink on the first try.
Amazing.
ADHD. I feel like Astra will offer for us to sit with her and just like in the wind to like sort of meditate if he wanted to.
Barris will accept until he believes Cyrus is free.
He brought me the box.
I actually feel like this would be a perfect moment for Cyrus to come up to the deck and now see Barros sitting at the front
He's
of
like,
the ship
damn,
with
this shit's
Astra."
catching
And
on!
he's like, oh, for God's sakes, they're both doing it now.
Astra's slowly converting everybody.
He goes up the next day, there's 3 of them there, he's like, for fuck's sake!
Oh God, it's multiplying!
I feel like Astra like is meditating but also casts Gust at the same time that on top the spiritualness of it. But she does have Gust. I'm pretty sure I give her Gust.
Yeah, to be fair, I think even if Cyrus tries to approach, we'll smell him before he approaches.
Astra
covered
casts
in
it in general direction.
I'll whisper to Astra like, I think Cyrus is here.
You don't say, and Astra like casts Gus at him to see what else. She doesn't have prestidigitation yet. So
Prestidigitation.
I can never say that word.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. I learned to say that very quickly because Terran cast it every 5 fucking seconds.
How did you just say press the titties?
Press the titties.
Press those titties.
Press those titties.
Press the titties.
I suppose as soon as Cyrus arrives, Barris will like break him and go, oh, Cyrus! Will you come join us for some meditation?
I don't really do meditation.
I didn't think so. Let's go get a meal.
That is more my speed.
Whenever they leave, Astra's like,
Thank God I don't have to talk to him again.
Peace and quiet. That's what I wanted.
The second they leave, Atlas appears at your side. But I'll let Anthony do his bit first.
It's literally like they leave to the left on his frame, and then Atlas is like,
And it's me like, I remembered something! Astra, I have a present for you!
hard cut to the other two.
I'll pass Cyrus a ale.
He'll take it.
How have you been finding ship life?
Yeah. I seem to have developed the sea legs, expanse legs. I don't know the term for it. Where you're comfortable on ships.
I suppose up here it's technically Alex?
No, air legs. Yeah.
That sounds like a sex position.
Air legs.
Air legs.
That's why they call it that.
Must be a theater thing. Yeah, it's fascinating. I never really focused on how ships flew or what it took to make them run. I was very much a board, fly, get off kind of guy. Didn't really think about the ins and outs of it. Galandros is rather brilliant, to be honest. I know I'm butchering Elvish names, but I'm just gonna make it a character thing.
It was the punctuation usage was terrible. I'm more of a bored, fly, get off kind of guy.
Get off with your sky legs.
I'm gonna get off my sky legs.
Oh, I choked really bad there. It's really
Dismount,
spicy.
disembark. What would you say? He's a basic person.
Dismount is worse.
It didn't hurt. It didn't help the bored came up like I'm bored of this, like because you said it like very like I don't want to be here kind of vibe, and it just paired with the bored fly get off kind of vibes. Like oh god. Oh,
Anyway,
it hit us both separately. It hit me first.
I heard you laugh, and then my brain was like click, and then I choked.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and I'm learning a lot from him. I think about how ships run, how to fix them, how to look for what's broken, and how to ensure it doesn't break.
It's an admirable skill to have.
Well,
I'm spending as much time as I can with the captain, but it's hard to keep up. Running a ship is interesting, and well, he's a bit nuts, and that's coming from me.
Mm.
But I like it. I like the chaos, and they run a tight ship, literally.
I don't really think I have the people skills for a higher rank.
I wouldn't see it as a rank. Simply what people are good at.
Suppose you'd be looking for something bigger for your own vessel, something that.
Eventually, I'd want something big enough to wage war on the Amalgam.
Be a big fucking ship.
This might sound rather ironic coming from me, but it's not always the best course to seek war.
True, but war found me when I was 14 years old. And I've been chasing it ever since.
War found me when I was 7. And I don't think I ever chased it. I think it was thrust upon me. He takes a big gulp of his eel.
I do not want to know your history, if you do not want to tell me, but I see that you have been through things that I can only imagine. And I suppose my life in comparison must be a breeze.
We all have our scars, Barrows. I'm sure yours are as heavy to you as mine are to me.
Maybe. I feel like out here I'm free. And I want that for you. I want that for all of you. I want Atlas, I want Astra, I want Volkir, I want you. I want you to have a home where you feel like home. Every single one of you seems to have been dragged away, have been pushed into this world, and I want to share your dreams. Your goals, your ambitions. I want you to be the best that you can be.
Well, that's the thing, I don't really have any.
Maybe Beryl should be your dad.
Well then,
He believes in you more than yours does.
let's make some.
My
I
main
know
objective
you don't.
was-
You don't have to make a commitment now, but when the time comes, I want you to be with me on my ship, on my dream.
My main goal was to get out. Some might say that I ran. I just had a feeling that there was more to the world, more to life than a constant crusade. You know, endless bloodshed, and a lot of it which didn't even end in death. So, really, all I wanted to do was escape. And maybe eventually find a home. Maybe figure out a way of coming to terms with how I was brought up and why. I understand Astra's need for a god. I get it. You know, someone's got to have the answers, but I don't think divine beings are the ones to give them. I think we need to find our own purposes, and I'm not quite sure what mine is. I've been raised a very certain way to believe certain things. But there has to be more than what I was taught, than what I've seen.
There is a particular saying by the deity that means the most to me. And it is: the fear of death follows from a fear of life, and the man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. You have to live. You have to live your own life without a fear of death, without a fear of what is behind you. And I think you'll get there. And maybe one day I can help you get there. But until then, you have my sword, and I'm here, and we will take wherever the stars take us. And if you find it within your heart to have me in your life for a little longer, even if I may annoy you to shit, then if I can achieve my dream, you, Astra, Atlas, and Vulgir, and maybe more, you'll all have a space on this dream of mine.
Well, until I figure out what my purpose is, I'm happy to help you seek yours.
To purpose and dreams. And
to achieving them.
clank.
And as glasses clink on the side deck, just before Astra jumps in to show Atlas.
All the way around.
Flip it, reverse it. Flip before Atlas jumps in to show Astra her present. I think we are out of time, people.
Oh,
See.
keep going.
We'll pick this up next time.
What's stopping us from keeping going?
People who have to get up at 5 a.m.
Ah.
And I don't want them to miss anything, so we're going to stop and we'll pick it up another time. I think that's only fair. And we will see you all
Of course you will in your adult job.
next time.
The
Bye-bye.
adult job that goes 5 a.m. to like 7 p.m.